Good afternoon, all of you. Welcome to 25th Healthcare Insight Series. I'm Dr. Megha Agrawal from Healthcare Sector Skill Council. This is a monthly webinar series under the Healthcare Insight Series initiative of HSSC, what we conduct in conjunction and collaboration with the industry experts and the industry organizations. And I'm very glad that this is the second time that we are collaborating with the second time we are collaborating with Woodlands Hospital for the clinical grand round session under the Healthcare Insight series. And today's the topic is modern technology, a boon or a curse for today's children. A very important topic that modern technology, we all are around, surrounded by with this modern technology, AI and social media influence and everything. And touching base, this very important topic, we have our expert, Assistant Professor Dr. Ishani R. Chatterjee. She's a dynamic neuropsychiatrist and medical researcher who believes in comprehensive understanding and treatment of psychiatric and neuropsychiatric disorders. She has special interest in the domains of neuropsychiatry, general adult psychiatry, geriatric medicine, child and adolescent mental health, addiction psychiatry, counseling, and psychotherapy. She has published many research papers in the both international and national journals, and she has a lot of teaching experience. So today we have this very great expert. I really welcome Dr. Ishani ji. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule and touching base on the very important topic on the medical technology, that how it is a curse or a boon for us, how we should effectively utilize it without letting up into any health concerns. Thank you so much, Dr. Ishani.
Thank you, Dr. Megha. Thanks for this wonderful.
I request everyone to keep yourself on mute, and I also request the admin to keep everyone on mute, please. Yeah, please go ahead, Shani.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Megha, for the wonderful introduction. And thank you, HSSC, for giving us this opportunity for presenting this particular topic here. As you said, it's a very important topic and very relevant in today's time. Now, as already said, the topic is okay. Can everybody put their microphones on mute, please? In case you want to interact, please do unmute and ask for an opportunity so that we can interact. Okay, so the topic is modern technology, a boon or a curse in today's children. Now, what I would like to say is, I want to start this discussion with a case of a child who came to me in OPD. Now, this happened approximately 3 weeks back, and I have been working with this child for the last 6, 7 months now. Wonderful boy, very intelligent, sort of studious, but yeah, he was into screen addiction, specifically gaming. Had his board exams, he gave a wonderful exam, good marks, and then he comes with his mother, and he was looking extremely helpless. So his mother came in, and she was like, my boy wanted to talk to you regarding something. He has been very aggressive and irritated, and he has been crying a lot. And he has requested to meet you personally. I was like, fine. And I was very bewildered because we were making a lot of progress. Boy comes in and was like, after the exams, they have had a new gadget, a new gaming console that was released into the market, and all his friends in his class have that particular gadget. He is the only one amongst his friend circle who does not. He was very frank in saying that I do understand that I'm not supposed to ask for it or demand for something like that. I know I don't deserve it, but even then I can't feel helpless and very irritated to the fact that I don't have it. And I can't control myself. He was not sleeping at night. He was having arguments with his parents, being very violent, and he could not control himself. So that is the type of cases we are having these days in our OPDs. So based on this case, we will further now discuss what are exactly the advantages, what are the disadvantages in such sort of a situation, how do we actually go about it, what can the parents do, what can a practitioner do. So I hope everybody has understood the case. I have tried to make it a bit lucid. If I discuss advantages of modern technology, now by modern technology, we mean anything and everything, starting from your phone to Chat GPT to the Alexa we have at home, anything and everything, the TV, the phones, everything is modern technology. Now, modern technology, we have seen the usage in advanced learning and the access to information and education on a very widespread level. It started during the time of, say, COVID, where we saw there was a global outreach regarding this educational outreach because physically students could not go to the classes. So the classroom went to the student's house. There were interactive apps made and online courses were then introduced. Students could sit at home, access the classes. Very convenient for everyone. And it was easier to access it and it was instant to access. Now, the school homeworks, assignments, projects, everything was done online. So, that is definitely an advantage of online courses, online webinars, and everything that is online. Second, educational videos. Now, we do study through textbooks. That is what we have been doing for n number of years. Complex theories that we use to research, read a number of books, try and understand. But this one, ma'am, if it can be explained in Hindi. Okay, sure. Um, fine. Basically, अगर हम देखें कि कोविड के दौरान, ठीक है, कोविड के दौरान बच्चे लोग स्कूल्स में नहीं जा पा रहे थे फिजिकली, तो क्या हो रहा था, ऑनलाइन बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा था, स्क्रीन यूज बहुत ज्यादा कर रहे थे, होमवर्क प्रोजेक्ट सब कुछ हम मोबाइल के थ्रू कर रहे थे या फिर एप्स के थ्रू कर रहे थे. तो एडवांटेज है ऑनलाइन का, फॉर गैजेट्स का, मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी का, क्योंकि एजुकेशन बहुत इजी हो जाता है. जोग्राफिकल मतलब अगर आप घर पे हैं, घर पे बैठ के आप देख सक रहे हैं या पढ़ सकते हैं, तो आपको फिजिकली कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. जोग्राफिकल डिस्टिंक्शन अगर है तो उससे फर्क भी नहीं पड़ेगा. एक्सेस इजी है, इंस्टेंट है, जैसे कि अभी जो वेबिनार हम कर रहे हैं, इट्स समथिंग like this webinar has an access to n number of people. I am talking and n number of people are listening to me right now. We are exchanging information. ये जो information हम exchange कर रहे हैं, that is on an online app. One second. আওয়াজটা বন্ধ করো, বাইরে শুনতে পাচ্ছি আমি. Right. तो इसके लिए मुझे फिजिकली कहीं जाना नहीं पड़ रहा है, आपको भी फिजिकली यहाँ पे आना नहीं पड़ रहा है. इट इज ऑल ऑन अ प्लेटफॉर्म विच इज वर्चुअल. ठीक. सेकेंड थिंग, ये जो थेरेपीज होती हैं, हमारी एसएलडी, स्पेसिफिक लर्निंग डिसऑर्डर, या ऑटिज्म में जो बच्चे होते हैं जिनको होता है, अभी जो इंटरैक्टिव डिजिटल टूल्स है, तो मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी है, वी आर ट्राइंग टू यूज इट इन थेरेपीज फॉर स्पेशली एबल्ड चिल्ड्रन. क्यों? क्योंकि 3D एनिमेशंस, ऑडियो विजुअल्स, लैंग्वेज सॉफ्टवेयर, एवरीथिंग इज ऑनलाइन. सब मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी है. वी आर यूजिंग देम फॉर आवर ओन बेनिफिट्स. सो ये एडवांटेज है. Any queries? Is that okay? Is that, should I continue? Is Hindi okay for
Yes.
everyone?
Yes, ma'am, you
Perfect.
can continue.
Okay. Acha, another advantage if I say is connectivity. Connectivity, as I said, we can connect with n number of people, a large population at one time. एक बार में ही हम कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं बहुत लोगों से. यहाँ पे कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगा. It's an instant connectivity. एक क्लिक करेंगे and you can see me. एक क्लिक करेंगे and you can see the webinar. एक क्लिक करेंगे, we can access information. It is instant. It's in real time. It is not as if कि ये recorded था, आप 10 दिन बाद देख रहे हो. नहीं. There is an option of seeing it. But आप real time में देख पा रहे हो. So it's easier for the kids also because they can actually access online sessions कभी के तभी देख सकते हैं. इंक्लूडिंग जो बच्चे नीट पीजी के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं या आईआईटी के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं, दे आर टेकिंग दे हैव बीन टेकिंग ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज. They can ask the teacher then and there कि query है आप solve कर दीजिए. So it's an online thing. Global connectivity. Now एक बच्चे को अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, they can ask teachers who are in India. They can ask teachers who are not there in India. International teachers को भी पूछ सकते हैं because they have the platform. जो platform आज से 10 साल पहले शायद नहीं था, but it is available now. So connectivity is a huge advantage of modern technology which the kids are using. Number three, skill development. Skill development means boosting of the skills but the student can have, like software navigation, coding, problem solving ability. आप अगर देखेंगे आज से कुछ साल पहले तक, people like us, we are not that technologically savvy. Yeah, we have been introduced to technology, but we are not that great with technology. We have learned over a time. Our parents, the previous generation, they're even worse than us. But the Gen Tech, which I talk about, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, they have been born into a time where the technology was already there. So technology already there, it is evolving, they're evolving with the technology. वो technology में ही वो बढ़ रहे हैं, technology उनके साथ evolve कर रहा है. What happens is they are much more better and skilled at understanding technology, navigating the software system and coding. क्या होता है कि बाद में opportunities जब आएंगी, we have already been introduced to AI, अभी robotics भी आ रहा है, सब कुछ is dependent on modern technology. They are better equipped to deal with the modern technological aspects जो future में और आएंगे. So their opportunity of surviving is also better. हो गया. Another, which is I believe one of the most controversial things I can say, gaming. Okay, now gaming को हम सब बहुत अच्छी नजर से नहीं देखते हैं, but gaming में एक चीज होता है. Gaming can hone your reflexes. Hand-eye coordination improves. Okay, spatial awareness कि 3D में आप खेल रहे हो, स्पेशल अवेयरनेस में बहुत इजी होता है देखना कि कैसे खेलना है, स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग कैसे करते हैं, स्पेशली मल्टीप्लेयर गेम्स में. इट इज वेरी इजी टू नेविगेट. दैट इज व्हाट वी फील, बट इट इज नॉट. एनी गेमर्स out of the participants that I am having here, anyone who has been exposed to gaming or is a gamer or has been a gamer ever, you can unmute yourselves and maybe participate. No gamers?
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I've put them on mute. So, if anybody wants to say something, आप लोग please chat box में डाल सकते हैं. जो questions मैम पूछ रहे हैं, आप chat box में डाल दीजिए. Because if I unmute them, then it's a disturbance. That's why.
Hmm.
But I'll later on unmute them when the question answer session is there. I'll unmute them.
Okay, fine. So I used to be a gamer at one point of time. अभी time नहीं होता है तो नहीं करती हूँ. But gaming does hone your reflexes a lot. So maybe we'll discuss this later on. तो ये हो गया advantages. If anyone wants to put forth any questions, please do. And अगर आपको लग रहा है कि advantages में और कुछ भी था, कुछ बोलना है या any points, please make sure you put it there. Now, modern technology advantages तो बोल लिया. Disadvantages. Disadvantages are, of course, more than the advantages, but then again, there is a balance to how we actually maintain. Number one, relationships and interactive issues. I won't blame the kids for this, but I won't blame the parents for this as well. Basically, the situation. अगर आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो, आप देखिएगा कि if there is a family eating out, okay, and maybe parents are there, kids are there. Usually, what we observe is parents are on their phone, the kids are on their phones, everybody is on their phones watching something, doing something, playing games, but they're not interacting amongst themselves. That is one observation. Another observation is कभी कभी क्या होता है, we have seen parents बैठे हैं, toddlers is throwing a tantrum, and then parents ने phone दे दिया कि बच्चा चुप हो जाएगा. बच्चा चुप हो जाता है, phone लेके खेलने लगता है. That's something that is very common. When you go to family vacations, you will see the kids don't enjoy. They are separately sitting with the phone or iPad or a MacBook and just ऐसे. Their whole life is into that phone or that gaming console, or whatever that is. Now, parents आते हैं, what they come in with a complaint is, बच्चा बोलता नहीं है, बच्चा हमसे बात नहीं करता है, दे डोंट इंटरैक्ट, दे डोंट टॉक, they don't even feel like talking to us, they don't spend time with us, they don't communicate, speech output is very less, बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं. The question is the environment conducive enough for the kid to actually talk to you? It's not. Are we giving them space to talk? No. Are we communicating with them? No. नहीं होता है. Now, बच्चा अगर फोन के साथ खेल रहा है, फोन क्यों दिया है? That is one. Excessive screen use leads to less time spent with family. The phone is obviously a better option to spend time at because it is more interactive for the kid. फोन देखेंगे, मजा आता है, कार्टून देख सकते हैं, बहुत कुछ देख सकते हैं. नाउ आई हैव सीन किड्स वाचिंग नेटफ्लिक्स सीरीज ऑन फोन्स, सो दैट इज ऑब्वियसली मोर फन. पेरेंट्स का जो कंप्लेन है रिगार्डिंग कम्युनिकेशन ड्रॉपिंग टू जीरो लेवल्स ऑलमोस्ट, दैट इज बिकॉज द स्क्रीन यूज हैज इंक्रीज्ड. कम्युनिकेशन के टाइम पे स्क्रीन यूज इतना ज्यादा है कि कम्युनिकेशन करने का टाइम ही नहीं बचता है. सो दैट इज वन. Second, now developmental issues. When I talk about developmental issues, it's very connected. You will see कि स्कूल में आजकल autism, is getting very much overdiagnosed. Parents come up and say मेरे बच्चे को autism है, and the school teacher has sent for an autism evaluation. So please see. Okay. Now there is something called as a virtual autism. What happens is बच्चे के साथ आप बात नहीं कर रहे हो, बच्चा खाली फोन देख रहा है, स्क्रीन देख रहा है, गेमिंग कर रहा है. They learn what they see, something called as social learning. We behave what we learn and we learn what we are seeing. Socially environment में जो भी हो रहा है वो देख के. स्पीच आउटपुट अगर पेरेंट्स के साथ नहीं होगा, मतलब अगर बच्चों के साथ आप बात नहीं करोगे या बच्चे आपके साथ बात नहीं करेंगे, तो लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट नहीं होता. Because a child needs the core amount of words to form a speech, right? हम सबको लैंग्वेज सीखने के लिए, लाइक हिंदी इंग्लिश कुछ सीखने के लिए, वी नीड टू हैव दैट वोकैबुलरी टू टॉक. स्क्रीन यूज में क्या होता है? कार्टून्स, मूवीज एंड एवरीथिंग, they don't talk, they just listen and see. They're not talking, they're not communicating. What happens is the speech output reduces. कॉग्निशन, मतलब जिस ब्रेन के पार्ट से हम सोचते हैं, प्लानिंग करते हैं, हमारे जिस ब्रेन के पार्ट्स में ये स्पीच चीज यूज होती है, या मैं अगर बोलूँ स्टोर होती है, दैट गोज डाउन हिल. वहां पे कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट होता ही नहीं है, तो स्पीच आएगा कहाँ से? सो दैट इज नॉट एक्चुअली ऑटिज्म, दैट इज वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म. दैट इज बिकॉज द एनवायरमेंट इज सच जहां पे आपके बच्चे बात नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, because the speech output in their environment is less. Okay. Another thing, हमारे घर पे हम Alexa, okay, Siri, then Scap Gemini, बहुत कुछ है ना. प्रीवियसली अगर हम बोले कि हमें ग्रोसरी खरीदना है, वी यूज टू प्लान वे अहेड कि इतना ये सब कुछ लगेगा. घर पे वी हैड टू मेक अ रोस्टर एंड से कि इस दिन जाएंगे, ये खरीदना है. ओके. लोगों के नंबर याद रहते थे सबका. वी यूज टू, आई मीन, ऑफ हैंड रिमेम्बर 10 numbers at one time. Compare that to now. Alexa is there at your house, and you simply say, Alexa, kindly tell me what is my grocery list for this month? What am I missing? Okay. Alexa knows your favorite music. Alexa knows your routine. Alexa will tell you what you have to buy, what you have to organize, and what you have to, have in your kitchen. बच्चे यही देखते हैं. Kids also will ask Alexa कि होमवर्क में क्या नहीं किया है, कब जाना है, रूटीन क्या है. So we are not thinking, we are not planning, we are not organizing anything. That is what the child sees and that is what the child practices. बच्चा भी यही करता है. तो what happens is the frontal part of your brain जिसको organize करना होता है, plan करना होता है, सोचना होता है, it stops working because the brain gets a signal कि जरूरत नहीं है इसका. क्यों ही करेंगे? Working memory starts reducing because the brain understands that it does not need to memorize anything because it's so easily accessible. सो इजी एक्सेस का साइड इफेक्ट भी है. इतना इजीली एक्सेसिबल है कि कुछ प्लानिंग का जरूरत नहीं है, तो ब्रेन धीरे धीरे इट शट्स डाउन. ठीक. अनदर थिंग, इमोशनल रेगुलेशन. You would have seen most of the kids do not know how to regulate their emotions in situations, and that is because वो situations उनके साथ normal life में होता ही नहीं है. They are into the modern technology. दे आर नॉट इंटरेक्टिंग विथ ह्यूमंस, अजीब अजीब सिचुएशंस उनके लाइफ में ज्यादा होती नहीं है. सो इमोशनली किस चीज को कैसे रेगुलेट करते हैं इन एनी सिचुएशन, हाउ टू एक्ट, हाउ टू बिहेव, हाउ टू टॉक टू एल्डर्स, हाउ टू टॉक टू पीपल हु आर सेम एज एज यू, हाउ टू बिहेव, ये सब सीखते नहीं है, राइट? नाउ similarly, behavioral issues come up because we have a lot of parental control, parental locking system, सब कुछ ठीक है. But you cannot obviously monitor or 24/7 supervise कि आपका बच्चा क्या literally देख रहा है. Maybe they are seeing something in the particular screen which is not very good. Maybe violence, maybe some criminal activities, maybe news that they are not supposed to be exposed to, maybe cartoons which do not have a very great theme. कुछ भी देख सकते हैं. बट आपको हमेशा पता नहीं होता कि क्या देख रहे हैं. देख भी रहे हैं तो दे आर लर्निंग एवरी बिहेवियरल सिम्टम फ्रॉम देयर. If they see something violent or aggressive regularly, there's a high chance they'll be violent or abusive in real life as well. So that is also something that is there. Another thing is discipline. Discipline करने का time नहीं है, discipline होगा कहाँ से? So that is also one major complaint that we hear. Now, attention and concentration. A lot of parents come to the clinic say, "बच्चा बैठता नहीं है." They are very inattentive. They don't simply, sit and study. They don't listen. Hardly 2 minute बैठेंगे, उठ जाते हैं. That is the major complaint. Most of the patients come and say कि बच्चा बैठता नहीं है, सुनता नहीं है, पढ़ता नहीं है. They are not interested. 2 मिनट बैठ के उठ जाएंगे, उसके बाद गेमिंग करने लग जाएंगे. They throw tantrums. Very well. ADHD overdiagnosis, just like autism. Why is that so? If you have seen, even you yourself, when you check your phone, ठीक है, maybe you are checking a word document, but कुछ ना कुछ करके you will go to either Facebook or Insta or YouTube. ठीक है, that is the general practice even we do. So you're working and then you obviously change and go to these particular apps and use it, and you keep scrolling. Scrolling is something that everybody does, including me. Love to scroll. बहुत कुछ देखने को मिलता है. We are very good at scrolling and seeing different things. What scrolling does is it increases the impulsivity. Why? The moment you scroll, you get a lot of data which your eyes are seeing, your brains are comprehending. What happens is it acts like a reward pathway system. Brain को kick मिलती है, adrenaline rush होता है. That is something that increases the impulsivity in your child. Now imagine a child who is on the phone using modern technology, scrolling throughout the day, obviously can't control himself or herself. And when they start studying, it's very difficult to focus. Not just for them, for adults as well. But बच्चों के लिए और भी ज़्यादा, because it's very difficult to control yourself from that impulse or the urge of getting that kick every time. तो बच्चा बैठ के पढ़ेगा कैसे? Anyway, reading more than 20 minutes is very difficult. But 20 minutes भी नहीं कर पाते हैं बच्चे. Right? So that is why they have become impatient, lacking of focus, attention span disrupted. ठीक? Okay. Another thing, I would like to ask one question. Has anybody heard about FOMO? Anyone who has heard about FOMO? FOMO. You can drop down a message because all of you are muted. So FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. Okay. So it's a term, I think it was introduced 2 years back, FOMO. When I see, say, Facebook or Insta, and I understand ki, this my friends, they have gone to some European country for a vacation or some party with a number of friends of mine, and maybe I was not invited. तब क्या होगा? I feel anxious and I feel scared. Oh my God, people are going to this particular place for vacation. People are going for this particular party. I have been left out, you know. So this is something called as I'm missing out on a trend which is in, and this is called FOMO. डर लगता है कि ट्रेंड मिस कर दिया, आई मिस समथिंग आउट इन माय लाइफ, समथिंग इज हैपनिंग एंड आई कुड नॉट एक्चुअली बी इन दैट. दैट्स समथिंग कॉल्ड एज FOMO. व्हाट इट डज इज इन्फीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स बहुत बढ़ा देता है. वो जा रहे हैं यूरोप, मैं नहीं जा पा रही हूँ. वो वहां पे जा रहा है, मैं नहीं जा पा रही हूँ. एंड इफ यू रिमेम्बर द एग्जांपल दैट आई गेव in the very first part of our webinar, that kid that kid came in, that 15-year-old boy, came in with a complaint कि उनके पास गेमिंग console है on which they are always, gaming, and I don't have it. That was a part of FOMO. Okay, I hope you can link it. So there was a inferiority complex कि उसके पास है मेरे पास नहीं है, and that is why I am not being able to play that game to the very good extent. ठीक. अच्छा. Another thing which parents are also very concerned about is dating apps. Dating apps, Snapchat, Instagram, very dangerous. Um, Mainly because people, especially kids, tend to exchange messages, tend to exchange images and private details which should not be exchanged. So, content can, of course, be misused. There was a case where this lady's face was used in some sort of an inappropriate content, and that is also kind of, I think this happened a week back. So, that's very common. Acha. So the most controversial part which I discussed in the advantages, uska disadvantages अभी बोलने जा रही हूँ. Gaming. Okay. So I'm not sure how many people are into gaming here. I would be very happy if you can actually share some, particular games that you have played, or you want to discuss regarding any particular games. If anybody has been a gamer, I have been a gamer in my life. If you have been a gamer, you would know कि gaming में there are avenues where you can chat. So there is an international chat room and a national chat room. International chat room and national chat room में people can actually exchange information, exchange numbers, exchange a lot of things. Of course, if you want to. Now, what happens is a lot of people exchange contact information. They make different groups and then they play multiplayer games. एक्सचेंज इन्फॉर्मेशन तो ठीक है, बट किसके साथ आप एक्सचेंज कर रहे हो वो आपको पता नहीं होता है, बिकॉज गेमिंग में हमको ये नहीं पता होता है कि यूजर कौन है अनलेस दे रिवील देयर ओन आइडेंटिटी. सो बुलिंग कैन बी देयर, getting in touch with really bad influences in life can be there. Also, there's something called as a dark web. Okay, so a lot of people are introduced to dark web through gaming avenues. If you don't know what dark web is, definitely go out and check it. A lot of illegal activities, including terrorism activities and trafficking, is there on dark web. So that is one portal. Um, Blackmail, okay, cyberbullying, crimes like that can start from gaming avenues, because chat room में बहुत कुछ होता है, especially because, okay, more than this I should not be saying. So एक ये है. Another is violence in games. Most games that people are interested in is usually PUBG, Minecraft, Free Fire, or like something like this. And of course, racing. So violence in game is a very common theme in all the games we usually see. तो आप जितना वायलेंस देखोगे, बच्चे सोशल लर्निंग में जाते हैं ज्यादा. सोशल लर्निंग इज व्हाट वी सी, दैट इज व्हाट वी लर्न, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी एम्यूलेट. सोशल लर्निंग में यही बोलते हैं कि आप जो देखते हो वही आप करते हो लाइफ में. तो वायलेंस देखोगे, आपका मेंटल सेटअप उसी तरह हो जाता है धीरे धीरे. तो वायलेंस आप देख के नॉर्मल लाइफ में भी कर सकते हो. सो दैट कैन बी वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई चिल्ड्रन आर टर्निंग वेरी अग्रेसिव, बीइंग वायलेंट, throwing tantrums. ठीक. Another aspect is splurging of money. Now, most of the games have aspects where people can buy accessories, can buy virtual coins, can splurge on weapons, not virtual weapons for games. And people spend real money to actually invest in those. बच्चों को आजकल नहीं पता होता है कि रियल मनी का वैल्यू क्यों है कि नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं पता होता, बिकॉज दे हैव अ हैबिट ऑफ splurging दैट मनी ऑन दीज पर्टिकुलर एवेन्यूज. ऐसे ही you will hear of cases where they have spent possible lakhs on just gaming accessories. So वैल्यू ऑफ मनी टीच करने के लिए ये क्या हो रहा है रियल वर्ल्ड में, गोइंग टू द शॉप, शॉपिंग बाय देमसेल्व्स, नोइंग एक्चुअल मनी कैसे अर्न होता है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अदरवाइज गेमिंग कैन बी अ ह्यूज इशू इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट. Apart from this, since we are a medical team and talking about medicine, so medical issues में modern technology is one problem. कि a lot of medical issues like insomnia, okay, excessive screen use at the night, people have a disturbance in sleeping, बच्चे सोते नहीं हैं, 2 बजे तक गेमिंग कर रहे हैं, स्क्रीन यूज कर रहे हैं, that's one major complaint. Obesity is one. Previously, what used to happen is we used to go to the parks, play with friends, invest time in activities like drawing, singing, ये सब होता था. Now it's all gaming and net cafes and screen. That's it. Depression बढ़ता है, stress बढ़ता है. There is a preponderance of people having cardiac issues, kids also. And they basically don't, have a very active lifestyle. So lifestyle modification is also needed in these cases. Another thing that I previously discussed also, but I would like to touch upon again is dependency. Now, dependency is crippling people, including the kids. Alexa, that is one example that I've already given. So, organizing use नहीं होता है, organize नहीं करते हैं. So, cognitive development जैसे पहले बोला था, that is one. We don't calculate. I just came across a kid who could not do simple maths. And that kid was not very small. He was like, I think class 10th, 11th. सिंपल मैथ्स बिकॉज कैलकुलेटर है ना तो इतना याद रखने का क्या जरूरत है. सो इट्स बेसिकली क्रिपलिंग पीपल. स्मॉल स्मॉल बेसिक स्टफ वी कैन नॉट डू. अब खरीदने जाएंगे शॉपकीपर के पास, दे कैन नॉट डू, दे सिंपली जीपे कर देते हैं, दे डोंट इवन नीड टू कैलकुलेट द चेंज बिकॉज इट्स अ हसल. सो these are the things that are disadvantages of screen use. Now we have gone across advantages, disadvantages. What do we do in these cases? Now, if we remember the first example that I gave of the 15-year-old boy, such time, okay, in the hands of the kids, we can restrict the particular activities, okay, that the child may or may not do. One second, internet connection. हाँ, हम बोल सकते हैं कि आप खाने के टाइम पे मोबाइल यूज नहीं करेंगे, or the particular smart TV will be only in the drawing room, not in everybody's bedroom. So few things. Yeah, anybody? Mm. So few things here and there. I think those can improve the modern technology downfalls. Now, I think we have discussed a lot. Anybody has any questions? I think we can unmute everyone, so that. Okay. Any questions?
If anybody has any questions, please you may ask. आप लोग चैट बॉक्स में भी डाल सकते हैं क्वेश्चंस, एंड प्लीज आप पूछ भी सकते हैं. अब आप अनम्यूट हैं, आप प्लीज पूछ सकते हैं क्वेश्चंस. क्रिएट बैच है, क्रिएट बैच पे आपको जाके अप्लाई करना है, वहाँ पे डिटेल्स फिल करनी है. वहाँ पे लिंक लिंक करना पड़ेगा, लिंक करना पड़ेगा. Ma'am, I just want to ask one thing, like these kids nowadays are so much into gaming, and not only gaming but mobile is like like students, they are always like on mobile seeing reels, and when we tell them to study, they say means they back answer and all, and they get so agitated. How to handle these kids, because it's very difficult, especially the teenagers like very difficult, and it's very difficult to handle these, and pressurizing them to study. They know they study, it's not so that they don't study, but the thing is that the mobile screening has become too much nowadays, and we also do it, elders also do it, but the kids are like too much pro to it. So how can we just restrict them, or how can we manipulate things a little bit and help them out to come out of it? Being a parent, I'm asking, because it's pretty difficult nowadays.
Right, right. This is a few aspects for this particular answer, One is schools, even now, even after COVID is not there and everything is settled. Even now, the assignments, projects, and everything is on an online platform. Okay. I have come across people saying कि tuition teacher भी online पे ही homework देते हैं. That has to stop. Okay. Please go and talk to the schools to stop online homework and assignment dispensing. That is one. Second, The moment you give an online assignment or homework, there is a huge chance they will start chatting or using any other app on the phone. So assignment आप online में कम करोगे तो the probability of them using another platform on your phone is less. Third, if we are talking specifically about teenagers, if you ask them to just stop using the phone, they'll not. They'll simply say नहीं देंगे. What I suggest is reducing the time slowly. If they're using the phone for 8 hours a day, minimize it to 6 and then 4, and if possible, take it down to 2 hours. It cannot be just at one go because they'll not listen to anyone. Maybe have a fixed timing that from say this particular 1 hour, 6 to 7 p.m., they can use the phone, and after that, they have to go back to study. Or have a schedule or a routine made where 20 minutes of study followed by a 10 minutes of phone, but 10 minutes should not exceed to 15. So, a scheduling of that particular study, effective study scheduling, ये करके देख सकते हैं, so that they have definite amounts of time they have the phone in their hand. Third, I also suggest, usually to a lot of my very reluctant patients, don't have Wi-Fi in your house. At least not one that is accessible throughout the day. Because वो VPN tethering करके easily they access. You can't keep your phones under lock and key. They'll not listen. So Wi-Fi maybe you can have, or the 4G you can have at least कुछ time के लिए. That is one thing that they can do. And you can restrict the time periods where, as a family, when you sit down to chat or talk or eat or spend time together, those times they should not be having the phone, and you also should not be using the phone, so that you make an example out of yourself कि हम नहीं कर रहे, so you also do not do it. So that is how you can maybe do a few
Surely.
things can be.
Let's try it out because it's very difficult to take them out of that phone thing.
It is,
Surely
especially
we
for
can try this.
teenagers.
Yeah, Tinku Adhikari, she wants to say something. Please say.
Yes.
Ma'am, this is wonderful session.
Thank
Only
you.
one, only one thing I just want to ask: whatever discussion, whatever sign, symptom, and all that, kids are having every that generation of this generation is having the same symptoms. So when we understand it is severe and it is needs to some therapist assistance and needs to some counseling or something, which extent we will understand that now we have to go to for advice or some assessment.
Usually I would say do not give your kid the phone at all. When 3 years age group of the do not, till 18 they should not be using social media. But that cannot be the basic line. I would say the social functioning or functioning in a school or academic performance, the moment that starts deteriorating, ভেবে আপনি গেছেন কোনো ভেকেশনে and the child is not interested at all, not engaging at all. That is a concern. Second, academic deterioration. A good kid suddenly starts deteriorating. That is a concern. Third, your kid not being very forthcoming. I mean, they are being suspicious, they're hiding something on the phone. That is very absurd. So, those can be red flags because they're doing something on the phone that should not be done. They're maybe wasting a lot of time that should not be done. It is affecting their normal lifestyle and routine. If they're isolating themselves, then those are the red flags that you should look out for. So, that is the time you should actually go for help because that has gone beyond. It is not the normal average যেটা আমরা use করি. So that is the time you should involve some therapist or a psychiatrist for help. I hope that was okay for you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, sometimes it happens that few kids, like they are very like quiet type of kids. They don't speak out much, but
Hmm.
they are quite, they study well. They keep on surfing the mobile. They talk to their mother or something. But when the time comes of emotionally taking out things, they keep it to themselves. If they are hurt, they keep it to themselves. And suddenly someday something happens and they burst out. And it is very, that time it is It is like it seems to be a very drastic thing, the kid crying, howling, and everything. But this continues. So, does this need any therapy or something for the kid, like some emotional something, or is it needed?
Oh, the fact is, if the kid is usually an introvert, like the personality you described is usually if the kid is an introvert and they are having emotional outbursts after repeatedly having emotional outbursts, একটা time scheduler করতে it can be n number of reasons. The phone may not be even a reason for that. So you need to first evaluate whether the phone is a cause or something in that particular phone. Maybe some particular person or something is involved and they're not able to tell you that. So you need to first ascertain what the cause is, because having an emotional outburst for an introverted personality repeatedly is in itself very absurd.
Okay.
So the cause needs to be first ascertained. Without the cause, you won't be able to diagnose a particular case.
Sure, sure.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Anybody else has any questions they can ask, please? अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो आप पूछ सकते हैं प्लीज.
सुनो भाई.
Ma'am, I don't think so they have any more questions.
Yeah, looks like I bored them to death today.
No, ma'am, surely not. They have listened, but might be they are not coming up with anything right now, and they can what normally like audience do is that if they have questions later on, na, they just text me or they email me, so we can just list it down and we can send it to you.
Okay, definitely.
Surely.
Fine.
And thank you so much for your lovely session, ma'am. And hope we'll have a good session and again with you. Dr. Megha is again there with us. Dr. Megha, you can please, close the session right now. Thank you so much, Dr. Ishani, and I
Thank
hope
you.
you had a good session.
I
I was not able to hear you the whole session because I was having in between a meetings as well.
It's
But
okay.
having said that, being a mother myself, I feel that this is the biggest challenge nowadays. All the parents are facing because we have been born in the age where there was no television, where there was no computer, there was
Absolutely.
no mobile phone, AI, social media, and today all the children are having a free access. And especially for the working mothers, when they have to be well connected with their children, so for the CCTV camera to be functioning all the time 24/7 in the house, they have to have the Wi-Fi also at the house in the house. So I feel that's something is a challenge with all the parents are facing. And thank you so much for giving your kind inputs in the same. I was not able to hear you complete session, but if you allow, I may ask one question at
Yes,
my
please go
personal
ahead.
note,
Sure.
at my personal note, because I am also a mother of a 12-year-old boy and he's entering into a teenage system. And yes, there is
All
a
the best
social
to you.
media, there is a social media that where he also wants to enter. There is a YouTube addiction as well. But having said that, there are the multiple there are the multiple things which is a boon as well, that they are learning from the technology. And there are nowadays the projects, the summer home assignments are also being given, which needs to utilize these technology only. But when we are going for this scenario, obviously we have to be mindful of this fact that we can not remove them completely from this technology, because that is a boon as well, as been stipulated in your session as well. But how, when while keeping the check, because every time we can't keep a check of on time as well, other things, especially for the working mothers who are not around with them full time. So how we could really keep a check without disturbing them and giving them this mind that we are keeping a check on you, that we are spying on you, or we are not trusting you. So remaining ourselves the trustworthy parent, having an open conversation, how we really ice break that conversation, that they actually flow everything what is happening with them, especially during these online sessions. and especially these Roblox, Minecraft, these kind of games, the interactive games they are having with the social mates, then how they could also come up easily with the parents. So I want that parenting tip. If that parenting tip you can give to us, that how we can have that open conversation with them.
For parents, I usually say be very direct and straightforward. You should let them know that by the end of this particular year, say for example, your kid is in class 10th, okay? So by class 10th ending and before the board exams, they need to finish up their syllabus between say 7 months ke andar and then revise. So sit with them that this is your target. You make a schedule. You can ask me, and maybe we both can make a schedule together, and then you do it. Between that, if you feel that you want to get into gaming, you can get into gaming, play one game. Look, PUBG one game is approximately 20 minutes. Okay, as a player, I'm telling you. So it takes one game 20 minutes. That's it. So if your kid wants to have a gaming session, they can have a 20-minute gaming session to make, or she has to make. If they're forthcoming, well and good. आप स्टेट उनको बता दो कि दिस इज द परसेंटेज दैट यू हैव मेड अ टारगेट फॉर गेटिंग इनटू 11th रिपोर्ट कार्ड में दिखेगा सो कीप दैट इन माइंड एंड वर्क अकॉर्डिंगली if you have a problem or if you feel that you want to play another game, then study for 2 hours and then play another game. So it always has to be something like a token economy. You do this, you get a reward by playing a game or using your phone. But just using your phone just like that, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Because let's be honest, um, as I said, value for money हमने सीखा है. तो पहले क्या जनरेशन में होता था, you have to earn it. So earn that time by doing something that is good for your future. They can play games n number of years later भी कर सकते हैं, but they should have the money to buy the phone at least. 4G के लिए भी पैसे लगते हैं. तो आप पहले उस टाइम को अर्न कीजिए, उसके बाद खेलिए. सो आप वो सिखाने की कोशिश कीजिए कि लाइफ में कुछ फ्री तो मिलता है नहीं, तो आप ये करेंगे उसके बाद ये कर सकते हैं. As simple as that. And yeah, you need to obviously have this trust on your kid that they are not going the wrong way, but still be a bit aware कि क्या कर रहे हैं. Sometimes what happens is कुछ गलत होता है and then they think that if I tell my parents is very embarrassing. If I tell my parents, they'll possibly blame me, maybe they'll not support me. So keep a check कि क्या कर रहे हैं, where did they spend their time in. There is a setting in the phone where you can actually see what particular apps they used. So it's not spying, but being a bit more aware of what and where they're spending their time on. Facebook, maybe people connect and they ask for money. There's a lot of n number of things going on. So thoda sa awareness, I won't say it's spying, but it is very important because children are not that forthcoming when they feel that their parents might scold them. Because that is our first instinct. We scold our kids कि क्यों किया, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. We are not very supportive. मतलब Indian parents usually scold first and then support later. They are supportive, but मुंह से निकल जाता है ना कि क्यों किया, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. तो spy a little if possible, discreetly.
Thank you so
And
much.
of course, the routine helps a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the personal reply to me. Thank you so much. I hope no one else having any questions. Simonti, any questions we are having?
No, currently nobody has.
Nobody
It
has.
was a very boring and very comprehensive session, so 0 questions for now.
It's okay. Please
Ma'am,
do.
not at all that. So clearly you explained, and then we thought we have to take some advice or assistance of anyone. So that is the thing.
Many working mothers are here, and students were there. So they have, they heard it, and I hope they grasp out of this. Now, it's not scolding or it's not, restricting them to anything, but surely it is a general, help and advice which you have provided. Surely, thank you so much for the session. Megha, can we conclude the
Right.
session now?
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ishani. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this wonderful session and this very touching base, the very important topic. People usually ignore talking on this. They actually have the hesitation also talking on this, that why and how we should actually talk. why we should talk se zyada, I think so, how we should talk about it. That is something the people always have that fear in mind. And thank you so much for breaking that ice for us. We hope we would get you again on our Healthcare Insight series again with follow-up sessions on these kind of topics. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you.
for everyone, we will meet you again on 10th July. We have the 26th Insight series on 10th of July. So we will get the information through our social media. And this complete recorded session would be available on our YouTube channel as well as on we will post it on our Facebook and other social media channels as well. You can access that later on as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.